Hey folks, I'm sitting here in the studio. Obviously the studio is cold iron. It's pretty early in the morning as typically I have, break of dawn calls with clients, being that I'm here in Hawaii, and today's been really no different. But just had one of those calls where I was talking with a client, and I know what the client needs and the route that they need to take, but no amount of persuasion, no amount of giving them ideas on why that idea may be not the perfect way to go did not persuade them, and they're going to go with us, but they're going to do they're going to employ what they want to do in the way they want to do it. One thing that my father always told me in business, he says, the customer is always right. He says, you can guide them, you can talk to them, you can tell them, you give them your opinion, give them alternatives, give them the right actions to go to. But in the end, the customer has an idea and has an agenda and has a thing that maybe you don't fully understand and fully be able to comprehend what they want to do. Maybe they don't want to tell you everything that they want to do. So they have their reasons for going a certain way and doing a certain process. And I know that sounds really kind of vague, but I just want to keep this generic here and really not disclose who the client is or make them feel bad. But I think the main thing is you just have to make sure that you take care of a client and do what they want. And if they're not going to hurt their business, then you can feel pretty sound in the advice and having given them alternatives. If a client was going to be negatively impacted, I would probably be a lot more passionate with them and try to get my point across. But that was not the case this morning. So the client's happy, we're happy, and we're going to go ahead and execute with them. But the digital world and the podcasting space that I live in, email and Slack, that's where I live. And my phone, my mobile phone. Matter of fact, it's right here. I started to record this about 10 minutes ago, and the phone rang, and I had to take the client call. But I need to get out of here in a few minutes and drop my kid off at school and then continue with the rest of the day. But, this is the life I live in dealing with clients. And then, a little later this evening or tonight, I'll get the studio fired up and I'll do a podcast. But oftentimes the glamour of the podcasting space is being able to put on the shows and deliver content to folks. But the behind the scenes stuff is kind of just like a 9 to 5 regular hammer, beat the drum and get business done, and then come up with and help solve issues. And we're a business that has to sometimes react. I feel bad for Angelo this morning. He's working an issue. He's pounding through it. I knew he was busy. I didn't want to interrupt him, but something came in where I had to say, I gotta pick up the phone and I need him to look at this now. And you hate to do that to someone when they're middle of working something hard, because it's just going to break up their flow. But it's one of those things that you just have to react to. That's, I think, sometimes are the biggest things that disturbs any business, is those little minor, that's something is just not quite right, has to be fixed, or something that was fixed before that needs to be fixed again. When you're dealing with technology and software and security risk and everything that goes on in the space, you just never know when that thing is going to occur. As an example, past Saturday, we had a little bit of an issue with one piece of software, and I had to call someone on a weekend and say, can you look at this for me? Is this something that we can wait till Monday, or does this have to be fixed immediately? And you hate to call someone on a weekend, but in the business of 24/7, where people are creating content and putting stuff up on the internet, there's really sometimes no other choice. And I used to have no qualms in the early days. Have no qualms on calling somebody on a weekend. Prior military is like, the mission's got to be met, right? 24/7, got to do what you got to do to get things done. And that is I've tried to relax a little bit from that. If the sky's not going to fall, I try not to pick up the phone and bother someone or wake someone up at 2 o'clock in the morning. But until you get a bigger team where you can have people on staff 24/7, which we're not at that point. We're still a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 type of operation with pretty quick response to emergencies. That's where we're at. And when I grow the company to where 40 people, I can say, okay, you've got 4 p.m. to midnight and you're on the graveyard shift, midnight to 8 or whatever it may be. But definitely not at that point in our business development. And for the companies that are able to do that, that's huge. You probably look at Facebook and Google. They probably have as many people working, well, probably not. They probably as many engineering people working night check and the midnight shift as they do days, just to make sure that all systems are firing. And they probably have a mission control center. My mission control center's right here, and this, and we live and die by it. It's pretty crazy, but. Anyway, I just wanted to share. It was just one of those things where I thought maybe to give you a little perspective on where things are at. But I need to get out of here. I got a kid I got to take to school and take care of the rest of the day. But thanks for spending a few minutes with me here as part of my ongoing series to just share things that are going on. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe below. I want you to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, then you've missed the point of watching this and staying in connection with me and what I do. So Todd Cochran, signing off. Everyone take care. Aloha.